All right, everybody, on today's video I have Darrell, who's moved here about a year ago, and he is the only foreigner living out in a small little province area, and we're going to get his story today. Stick around. All right, Darrell, thanks for coming onto the channel. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I know you're from the California area, San Diego, you were saying?
Yes.
And you moved out here, I think, in 2022?
Yes, February 2022.
So over a year. So retired and...
Yes, I retired in December, and I was actually heading to Nepal because I was waiting for the Philippines to open up, and then when I was about a week away from getting my tickets for Nepal, and then all of a sudden they opened up, boom, I was on my way here.
All right, great, yeah. And was this always your first choice?
I was always first choice.
Always first choice.
Yeah. Okay. I'd been here before, and I didn't really think about living here in the beginning, and then as things kind of started to evolve in San Diego and America and so on, I decided this might be something I really enjoy. So I moved here instead.
Is there a place that stands out as your favorite so
Baguio.
far? Baguio?
Yeah.
Is it because of the cooler weather? Or?
Well, yeah, it's a cooler weather, and it's kind of like a college town, so there's always this young energy going on, and there's really so many things to do. I looked up when I was going there, I wanted to do some videos. I wanted to see the tourist spots, and just pulled up a Google search.
Yeah.
And there was a list of 20 different destinations. And I started going to the different destinations thinking, I could just video all these in a couple days. And there's so much to see in the different destinations that it really took some time.
Okay.
But I've evolved into living pretty much the simple life, and so it has pretty much everything I want. If I want cheese and those kind of things, I'll go into the mall, once every couple weeks, and I'll shop it.
So there is like a small shopping mall in your...
Yeah, they have some smaller shopping where you can buy food, pretty much everything you're going to need.
Okay.
And there's a couple of those there. Then there's a public market, which is where I usually go.
For fruits and vegetables.
Fruits, vegetables, meat, yeah.
Okay.
And...
you trust the meat?
I didn't when I got here, but I do, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
They sell out every day by around noon. So everything you get there is fresh. When you talk about processed food there, you're talking about things like cup of noodles or hot dogs. Other than that, everything's fresh. That's
true. But even my fiance, she's not even comfortable with the chicken and stuff. Unless I suppose if she got there right away, she prefers to buy that.
The thing you got to remember is if we're buying in America, like in San Diego, the meat's going to come from Central Valley, hours and hundreds of miles away.
Right.
The chicken I buy there in the morning was probably still eating food the day before.
Sure.
It's like the fruits and vegetables in Baguio as an example. They're harvested 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
So the food is vine ripened as opposed to ripened in a warehouse. The bananas are boom off the tree and they're at the market the next day.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, I have not heard of anybody getting food poisoning anywhere. And I was concerned about street food and all that stuff. I haven't heard of anybody getting
now street as far as food poisoning. I don't hear that too much, but I do. It is common for foreigners to get like a case of 24 hours of diarrhea.
I think that probably comes more from the water, though.
Right, you're right. Exactly.
I drink bottled water. I don't brush.
You have to. Yeah.
I don't brush my teeth with it, but I mean,
I don't.
That's
either,
just me.
Yeah.
It's just me. It's advised that you do brush your teeth with it, though, when you get here.
Now, you were telling me you have a little house.
Built a little house.
You built a little house, and you said
5,000.
5,000 US.
Yeah, and it's let's say it's 400 square feet.
400 square feet.
So it has a bedroom. The bedroom, when I added the bedroom on, so I built when I added the bedroom on, including the walls, door, window, air conditioning, roof, $700.
Wow. Now, was part of the reason this was so inexpensive is
the land was free.
The land was free. Okay, that's from an ex.
It's from my
not ex-wife, but ex-girlfriend.
My LTR.
Yeah. No, we won't get into that, but you basically said things were great at first, but she kind of turned.
Well, it's you know, in all due respect for her, we met and she was 28, 29, and very simple girl, that kind of thing. And then over time, and we're talking 7 years long distance, she just changed. And the changes is I've changed, she changed. The chemistry just isn't there as it was before.
Right.
So I'm not speaking bad of her. She didn't do anything wrong. No one's cheating here. It's not one of those things. It's just
you were changing. Both of you were changing, but you guys were apart.
We evolved in different directions.
Right.
So where I was the boss before, I'm not the boss anymore. You know. And that to me my character defect is
sure.
I got to be the boss. That's just it. You know.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of Western guys, I think we want to be we want the traditional roles and the traditional Filipina. That's why a lot of us come here, I think.
Yeah, and absolutely. So. But I think that with me, not much matters, but when it does matter, it matters a lot.
Yeah.
And so I was building this little house, and the construction wasn't going the way I wanted it to. Mm-hmm. And I was unhappy about it. And I would say I wanted it exactly the way I wanted it, and I think the feeling was that when I saw what they did, I'd appreciate what they did. When I saw what they did, I didn't appreciate it. I wanted it my way. And I guess it didn't click with them that I was doing construction in America before I got here.
Right.
And when I wanted it my way, I wanted it exactly my way.
Sure.
Like the kitchen counter.
Uh-huh.
I wanted it straight. I didn't want it built out at an angle and and then they got to come and chisel it out, and then I got to pay all over again to have the same thing done. And then I'm arrogant because I wasn't happy with it. It's like,
right. And I think, I don't know if it's the culture or what, but they just seem to kind of accept things like,
that's correct.
Yeah.
And I guess when you want something done and it's done that way, if you don't like it, it's because, maybe you're just wanting too much. Mm-hmm. You're too particular. Or, we were putting wood in the floor, the little floor tiles, and they kept saying, "Where's the nails?" I go, "There's no nails. You don't need nails."
Don't need
and then
nails.
We went back. I mean, the guy wouldn't even show up to work until a week later. Did you get the nails yet? I go, "No, it's just put them in there. You'll see what I'm talking about. You won't need it." And I showed him a video on how to install.
Yeah.
And so they did it. It turned out beautiful.
Right.
But they didn't want to go down that road.
Right.
With a perfectionist who,
yeah,
So,
being the only foreigner now, how do you feel like the treatment is from the Filipinos?
Awesome, just absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I've done some very minor, simple things that probably nobody'd really give you much notice if you did it in America.
Right.
And here, it's like the community knows that I'm such a nice guy for these very simple things that I did. It's very appreciative.
For example?
Well, with the jeepney drivers, they had the little plastic chairs that had broken.
Yeah.
So I just decided, it was Christmas time, I just decided, I'm going to go buy a couple of chairs. It was $14, $7 for each chair. I went and bought them down. They were so incredibly appreciative.
Right.
I ride the jeepneys every day, and they wouldn't even let me pay for my rides for a month, 6 weeks, something like that. And their business slowed down, and I said, look, if you don't let me pay, I'm not riding. Because they were only getting one trip a day instead of 4.
Right.
And so I said, I appreciate it. I said, someday I will not have any money, and I'll ask you for a ride. But until then, just let me pay forward a little bit. Let me pay for it. So
very good.
And I met some people there, one guy, and he goes, "Oh, you're a nice guy." And I go, "Really? How did you know?" And then he started telling me these things that I did. And then I've heard it from a second source, like 2 weeks ago, where people were talking about me, and that he's so accommodating, so nice, and so generous. And I'm telling you, financially, $50 for all of that stuff, for the chairs, the tabletops, the screws. I mean, first time in my life I've been walking and thinking, money can buy happiness, because I was pretty happy about the way that everybody was feeling about such simple things that I did. You didn't have to spend thousands of dollars for people to really, really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's my experience.
Now, being 69 years old with the healthcare in a small province, does that worry you, or how's it been so far with
I'm not worried about it. I don't lay awake at night. My doctor visit is $6.
Okay.
And I know at our age, or my age, not your age, but I have to. You have to watch things like your blood sugar, cholesterol, and so on and so on. So every 6 months, I'll go ahead and complete blood work. It's maybe $50 here, and that's everything. I mean, there's triglycerides, on and on and on. And then I'll take it to my doctor, and he'll look it over, and he goes, "Oh, everything's fine," and then I'm done. And so for $50, $60, I've done my semi-annual health checkup and my blood pressure, all that stuff. So no, I'm not worried about it.
And I know you were saying you don't really need appointments. You can just kind of get in.
I don't even think they take appointments in the little town where I'm at. You just walk in and just do it.
Okay. Now, as far as like things like that, it's excellent and the cost is low.
I'm just going to add this real quick.
Sure.
To get a complete idea. I went in, I couldn't breathe very well. I knew I kind of probably had pneumonia. And I told the doctor, so I went over for an x-ray and for a sonogram. I think it's sonogram. And then I took those back to him. So 2 doctor's visits, the sonogram, the x-ray, all of that took about a half a day. And I walked everything back and forth. Maybe $50. Everything, doctor's visits, analysis, sonogram, x-ray. The x-ray was probably like, x-ray was less than $10.
Right. Very inexpensive.
Yeah, and a half a day. And you can imagine what the copay would be in America. And then you'd have to wait a week to get results.
Yep.
Same day.
Now, this part of the medical is excellent. But do you worry about where I think the U.S. is better would be in an emergency situation, a heart attack, a stroke, something like that, the response time?
Out where I live, it would be an issue because there's a hospital there. Maybe a simple heart attack, it wouldn't be a big deal. When I do have a serious concern, I've been to the hospital in Angeles City, which is a 20-minute ride away, and a half hour, and it's a medical school. So they're teaching doctors. It's so I feel comfortable there.
Sure.
But my needs have not been serious to the point where I have had to be concerned about something more serious. So
I don't fingers crossed that never happens. But I think that's the only one big issue with the medical here is if something happens where you need quick medical attention, that's where the Philippines kind of fails.
Now, the quick medical attention, and where I was kind of, is the ambulances here are like it's more like a van with a bed in it that drives you there.
Right. There's no.
There's not. They're not going to run IVs and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't even think they're paramedics.
Not like they have in America.
No.
And so getting to the hospital, number one, if you're in the province, it's going to take you a while to get there to the next hospital.
Yep.
Probably similar if you're in North Dakota, 30 miles away from somewhere. But when you get to the hospital, you're going to need to have some cash or a credit card.
Yeah.
Or you're going to sit there until somebody brings it.
And I had a friend recently who was at the hospital, and the machine was down for the cards. So that was an issue, but yeah, it's more fun in the Philippines with things like that. But yeah, cash is I always tell people have at least 1 month of expenses cash locked up, hidden somewhere in your house, and then I don't know. Let's say a tropical storm came through and you need cash, or a hospital thing like this.
Well, you recommend, I got this from you back when I was in the U.S. still. Probably going back to 2019, and I use Remitly to get my money here.
Yep, that's a good way.
And I found out that I could probably open a savings account here, even though my visa's tourist, and I could send money to that, and that will have that savings account here will come with a Visa card, so I will have those tools available here locally.
Excellent. Now we'll end it here. I have one last question, and then we're going to talk about Darrell's YouTube channel that you guys should check out. But last question is, living in the province, you built a $5,000 US home, so you're basically rent free. What kind of expenses do you have for a month on average?
Well, you're going to disagree with me, I think, but with my girlfriend and I, we figured out a budget when we got here. Mm-hmm. So if I could eat everything I wanted to eat all day, every day, $50 a month for fiber optic.
Okay.
Say about $110 for electrical.
Okay.
I'm good at $600 a month.
I'm not going to disagree because you have your rent is paid, so that's a little chunk.
I was looking at renting a new place there, brand new construction. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it. $60 a month.
Wow.
60.
That's definitely a big difference from like the city, like Dumageddon, where a lot of expats go, and therefore prices go up.
You come to Dumageddon, I'm thinking you're going to spend $25,000 a month just to find a reasonable place.
Yeah. I tell people that.
I think that's realistic.
I think once upon a time it wasn't like that, but the more expats that come,
the other thing about that is that with the free rent, that was a $5,000 investment.
Right.
So if you spread that over time, it maybe made just as much sense to rent. I don't know.
Depends how long you live there, I suppose. Yeah.
I've been there 19 months.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a pretty good
deal.
The
main structure was 3,200, and then 32,000, and then with construction costs here in the Philippines seems to always include furniture and appliances.
Right.
So furniture and appliances, less than $5,000. Wallpaper, hardwood floors, entire walls covered with mirrors, installed professionally. The stove, the range top fan, tile everywhere. The outdoor kitchen is tiled everywhere. It's it's
good deal.
Looks like a little condo, a high-end condo.
Now, what is your channel? What is the name of your channel, and what kind of videos do you make?
The channel is x-pensive_expat. And X means no longer, pensive means nervous. It's like nervous. And expat's just an American living outside the U.S. So that's where the name came from. The videos I do are about my experiences, places I travel to, is I like to travel and I can afford to travel on my Social Security. And so I started doing videos of things that I wished I could share with my friends. And watching your show and things and so much talk about the places and how beautiful they are, I decided I will start making some videos of that. When I went to Baguio, I looked up all these different tourist destinations and I videoed each one of them, and some of them are just amazing, beautiful. You could go to Baguio, for example, and have an amazing time, and you would be busy from morning to night, and I mean as late as 2 a.m. if you want to, for 3 or 4 days. All going to different tourist destination, ukai shopping. They have ukai shopping on a night market that goes till 2 a.m.
Wow.
You can buy a pair of decent tennis shoes for 400 pesos, and then you walk around the end of the field there, and there's street food, and it's excellent. Barbecue everywhere.
So, when in Rome, right, or when in the Philippines, do as the Philippines, and you'll save money. Now, there'll be a link for Darrell's channel down in the description in the pinned comment as well. Check out his channel. Do you have a video of showing your $5,000 house?
I don't.
You don't? That would be a good thing to show, because I bet people would be interested.
I plan to. I hadn't got around to it because I was concerned about. I'm doing a series, and the series includes. My friend sent me some clips leaving Miami, but the real thing is coming into Angeles, and you can from the video you can watch it and go, okay, 20 yards, take a left, and there's all the taxis. Or you want to go straight, you want to go to Baguio, just walk out the front door, one absolutely straight, maybe 70 yards, and there's buses. This one goes to Manila, this one goes to Darrell, which is where the other buses go. This one goes to Baguio, and this one goes to the Filipina airport. So there's people that literally get on the bus at Angeles Airport and go to Manila because you're in and out so fast. Getting out of Angeles, the airport there, 20-25 minutes through international, coming in international. Hey guys, I just wanted to do one thing. Joe's getting married. He's going to Italy on his honeymoon. And
yeah, and it could be a few months, but yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a donation. And if you subscribe to my channel, leave me a note. You can watch any video. Just leave a comment. Friended Geos. And with each one of those comments that I get, I'm going to make a donation on your behalf to him. And also encourage you guys, if you're doing your super chats and those kind of things, let's get a fundraiser going for Geo. So he has a really, really nice trip going to Italy with him and his wife, and I think they're going to go to the United States. It's going to be expensive. Let's see what we can do to help him out.
Well, thank you, Darrell.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, guys, check out Darrell's channel. Darrell, thank you so much for
Thank you for
being on
having
the
me.
channel.
Yeah, I've watched you for so long.
I appreciate it. All right, take care, guys.